Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is David Novak. I'm pretty exhausted, I guess you could say, with this book project. I'm going to talk about the book that I'm producing. And I think I'm very close. I still want to write one poem for which I am dependent upon the muse for some inspiration, and I don't know if that is going to come. So today I think I might have finished the uploading of the text to the template or the formatting in Microsoft Word that I need in order to upload it to the self-publisher. I use lulu.com. And so then I decided to knuckle down and try to play around with the pagination and the section breaks. Well, even though I have done the task before, it's always been fraught, it's always been difficult, and so I expected as much. And I produced what I felt was a workable, copy. It had some little faults to it that I couldn't really see what to do with. And then I had a busy day, and when I got home, was it when I got home or earlier? I don't know. I don't know. I've had to be out a couple of times. But I thought, well, I was going to just, now that I'm a little bit more familiar, I'll just go through the process again and do another copy. And so I tried and I tried and I tried, and I couldn't even get to the first step. However, I made that copy earlier today, I just could not duplicate any of it, could not get the page numbers to, for a minute I had the page numbers so repeating or not repeating, going in sequence, and then had to change something. And then when I got back, it was all like, if you started with number 3, it was all 33333 on every page. And I could never figure out how to change that. So, and then in the course of that, I mucked up my, I thought I was working on a copy and I was working on the original, and I mucked up the original master copy. So I said, well, okay, that settles it. I'm going to have to use the one I made earlier that I wasn't really pleased with, but at least it got the page numbers down. And so I decided, well, the first step you have to do then is make a PDF and then kind of check things out via that. And so I did. And right off, there were all kinds of problems. Sometimes when you do the document on Microsoft Word and then you make the PDF, which is what you will send to the self-pub house, all of a sudden all these extra pages get thrown in there, blank pages, whatnot. If people are not careful, they wind up with things on the wrong side and stuff like that. And fortunately, I was able to go through it and correct those errors. It comes when you have like a page break and then a section break. And in the case of Microsoft Word, the section breaks do not always function as they promise that they will. Sometimes the begin section on the next page starts as a continuous section break. I mean, it's complicated, but at any rate, I went through and I sort of just intuitively made some deletions. And when I went back through, the pages were falling in the right order. So I suppose the next step to do will be just upload it to lulu.com so I have something ready to go. It won't be the copy I'll use. I still want to do a little proofreading, although I'm not sure how much of that I can take. I have to be very, very careful about touching this copy now. I mean, I'll make some duplicates of the one that I'm going to use in the Microsoft Word. It's so sensitive, and you touch something wrong. I mean, while I was working on it, you just click. It was start with the first number or something, check the box, and then all of a sudden, all of the header and footer tabs, or not tabs, dimensions, whatever, changed, and so then all the lines are shifting. Well, you can't have that. And one time it was like page by page they were all different, and I have no idea what caused it. It's always some little innocuous thing that you do. I'm not schooled in this, but I have the copy that I think I'm going to use. Now I need to make textual things, and when I make these changes to the text, I just have to make sure that I don't touch the formatting or go anywhere near the formatting. And if I add this other poem, which has not been written yet, well, that is going to be a risky thing. But I feel pretty good. So I have the book here in 3 sections. I've got the type outs that I did. So there's the first section, there's the second section, the third section, and then my introduction stuff. And I look forward to having the hard copy printed and bound in hand, because then I can do away with all of this stuff. It's really kind of a mess. Of course, you should look at the desktop on the computer. It's terribly much of a mess. I had to already throw out numerous iterations of the PDF files because they are of absolutely no use. The extra copies of the Microsoft Word file might potentially be of use. You never know when some kind of error is cropping in and you need to go back to an earlier generation or whatever. So they will be done away with as soon as I have the bound copy in hand as well. Now I used my earlier book, Small Poems, ignore the X in my name, as my template. And so the inside of the book is going to look very much like this. It's going to be the same size. And one thing that I was very pleased with, this book is 380 pages long, and the new book is shorter than that. It's probably just a little over 300. I am very happy about that. I think it's going to be a better book than this one, because this was all over the place. The new book is as well to a degree, but it's much more compressed because the poems have all, with a couple of minor exceptions, all been written since the ascendancy of Donald Trump to the presidency, and so reflecting events happening rapid fire. And because of that, I wanted to leave the dates of composition available to the reader. And I am pleased to say I was successful in doing that. I left them after the poem, just on the next line, and then tabbed them way over. The tabbing was indeed possible and easy, except in cases where I needed to really try to squeeze an extra line or two onto the page. Then I deleted it and moved it up a line. To be more professional, I probably should have put them all at the last line of the poem, but it was too much work to contemplate doing something like that. And besides, some of those lines are too long anyhow. So all in all, the way things are looking, I'm pleased with it. And I guess aside from proofing, I downloaded a PDF onto my iPad, so I have some errands to do tomorrow. I can take it with me and do some proofreading while I am out. And then the next step, I think, will be for me to go to lulu.com and open up a file for this new book and maybe start working on the cover. Now, all of these steps are just loaded or laden with difficulties, and I barely make it through, and not without some hair pulling. But that will be the next step. I say that in a very complaining sort of tone, but there nevertheless is something fun to doing that. Basically, I will just be choosing some photograph from somewhere and loading it up and then putting some type and maybe choosing some colors here or there. And then we're just about ready to go. So I know at least one of my viewers has commented his appreciation for me talking about my book project. I don't know why anybody would give a damn, really, but I really do appreciate those of you who settle in and listen to me. It's a bit of therapy for me, and I am pleased that every step of the way, it's been difficult, but things have somewhat fallen into place, and at least in a workable manner. And so I do see a light at the end of the tunnel. From the get-go, when one starts writing poems, once the idea of putting them into a book came into my head, it was suggested to me very early that I do so. I really had no thoughts of that initially. But then shortly thereafter, when I started writing multiple poems in a day, I realized, well, there definitely is a possibility of that. And that adds a little sense of stress. And then every process, every step of the way, it's incredibly daunting when you undertake it. Just they were all in a mess in the notebook because I had not typed them out as I went along. That was daunting. It took me, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks, just pretty solidly. The one notebook was a mess, but then you get to the end of it and you feel good. You breathe a sigh of relief. Then the next step was trying to load them onto the Microsoft Word. That was very difficult as well. A lot of problems. Then there's the formatting phase. That's exactly this. It starts out and it's just the intimidation factor looms huge, and especially if you've had difficult experiences as I have and not very good abilities with the program. But you work through it, and in this case I got lucky and I got a document that I think I can go forward with. Then there's, I think, one more set of proofing, then the cover manager at Lulu, which is just awful. Unless when I go there, I find out they have changed things again, and I just don't know. I have to cross my fingers for that. So thank you very much, those of you who have come along with me this far, and I hope I have more to report. I have not been reading, I think, for 2 or 3 months. I don't know how that is going to throw my reading plans off, but I will probably need a week off after I get this thing out there. And then we shall see. I'm inclined to think that this may be my, aside from growing the hair, this may be my primary effort as far as aiding the assistance or the resistance and further steps, I will continue to go out to protests as they arise and make a show of my presence with my physical body. But as far as other tasks, I don't know how much I can make myself feel obligated to do more. It may well be that my task has been more of an obligation to posterity. I don't know. So after a week off or whatever, if indeed I get to the uploading to Lulu point, if I get that far, then I will take a week off probably, and then hopefully get back to my reading and talking about what I am reading. I don't know if it's 2 months or 3 months that I've put it aside, and I miss doing it so much. Thank you very much for stopping by.